The dust rose behind my truck in a long, lazy cloud as I turned off the county road and onto the mile-long drive to my ranch. 6 months away. 6 months of airports, boardrooms, hotel breakfasts, and endless phone calls. I'd missed the stillness here, the way the grass bowed in the wind like it was greeting you, the quiet hum of cicadas, and the smell of cedar logs that still clung to the porch from the last winter fire. This ranch had been mine for 15 years. Out here, life moved slow, or at least it used to. Until she showed up. The neighbors had warned me in emails while I was gone. There's a new HOA vice president, name's Karen. She's, well, intense. I'd dealt with Karens before. In fact, I'd dealt with hundreds of them. That was part of my job. See, I wasn't just some guy with a ranch. I was the director of operations for the National Homeowners Association Council, the person who oversaw every HOA in America. Every rule book, every election, every policy. If you lived in an HOA, I was the reason your mailbox had to be a certain height, or your shutters had to be beige. But I didn't advertise that fact. It was a card I kept close to my chest, until I needed it. I rolled to a stop in front of the house and hopped out, stretching my back. I'd barely grabbed my duffel from the bed of the truck when I heard it. A voice. Sharp. Unfriendly. Hey! What do you think you're doing here? I turned to see her. Blonde bob, oversized sunglasses, a posture like she was carved from ice, and a clipboard hugged to her chest like a badge of authority. Morning, I said casually. Just unloading my truck. Her head tilted, scanning me up and down like I was a trespasser. That vehicle is not permitted to be parked in plain sight. HOA Policy 4C. I glanced at my old blue pickup, dusty, dented, and absolutely perfect for ranch work. Just got in. Haven't even unpacked yet. That grass, she continued pointing, is 2 inches over the limit. Section 2A. You'll be receiving a notice. I had acres of wild prairie grass swaying in the breeze. Out here, that lawn wasn't a lawn at all. It was just nature being nature. 2 inches, huh? I asked, smiling. She didn't smile back. Rules are rules. Then she did something that made me laugh out loud. She stepped back, whipped out her phone, and called the cops. Yes, she said into the receiver, voice dripping with fake panic. There's a trespasser on HOA property. Possibly armed. I feel threatened. She hung up, crossed her arms, and smirked. Sheriff's department is on the way. I suggest you stay right there. 20 minutes later, a county cruiser rolled up, tires crunching on the gravel. 2 deputies stepped out, and I recognized one of them instantly. Lawson. We'd had a whiskey together at the county fair last year. Morning, he said, squinting at me like he was trying not to laugh. What's going on here? Karen leapt into her performance. This man broke into HOA-controlled property, refuses to leave, and is in violation of multiple regulations. I leaned on my truck. Guess it depends on whether you think a man can trespass on his own land. Karen's jaw dropped. Your land? This property belongs to a member of the HOA. I know every owner here, and you're not on the list. I let the silence build. Lawson gave me a little smirk, waiting. You sure about that, Karen? I asked. Positive. I finally pulled the pin. Not only do I own this ranch, I run the HOA for this area. And every other HOA in the country. She blinked, then laughed. That's ridiculous. I popped open my briefcase and pulled out an embossed binder. Inside was my identification from the National Homeowners Association Council, Director of Operations. I showed her my email inbox, filled with messages from HOA boards across the country, all addressed to me. Her face went pale. You write the rules? She stammered. All of them, I said. Including the one about removing board members for abuse of authority. Lawson chuckled. Told you to check who you were talking to. That could have been the end of it, but I wasn't done. I'd seen too many people like her, using HOA power to bully neighbors, measure grass blades, and tell folks what color their curtains could be. She needed a lesson. Here's how this works, I said. You're stepping down as vice president. You'll apologize to the neighbors for wasting law enforcement's time. And you'll stay off my property permanently. Her lips tightened. You can't. I can, I said, cutting her off. And if you think I can't, I'll put it in the national bylaws by tomorrow morning. She swallowed hard, then nodded. The fallout was glorious. Word spread before sundown. At the general store, people stopped me to say thank you. At the feed supply, old ranchers clapped me on the shoulder. By the next day, 3 pies and a batch of cookies appeared on my porch, along with a note from Mrs. Hargrove down the road. About time someone put her in her place. At the next HOA meeting, Karen was gone from the board, replaced by Mr. Pennington, a retired schoolteacher who cared more about helping neighbors than handing out fines. A week later, I was sipping coffee on my porch when I saw Karen drive by. She slowed just enough to look, but this time, no clipboard, no sunglasses, no smirk. She didn't even wave. I leaned back, let the sun warm my face, and smiled. My truck was parked right in the drive, my grass swayed freely in the wind, and there wasn't a single notice in my mailbox. Because when you run every HOA in America, you don't follow their rules. You write them.